Howdy. This is the second part of my Revenge of the Fallen Legends review with Optimus, Jetfire and Megatron. Just so you know, I won't be buying the leader versions of these figures. First, Optimus. He's been given a new mold this time. In comparison with the previous figure, the colours are more vibrant, the proportions are better, and he actually has smokestacks this time for added detail. And of course, he retains his ever infamous flame deco. More robot parts are visible, however, with the hands etched onto the rear of the truck, and the arms which are visible from the back. Other than that, it's a decent little truck. The transformation is both clever and movie accurate. Mainly in how the cab windows actually become the chest this time. The robot mode is better than the original in some ways, worse in others. The proportions are mostly improved, but the arms look a bit too long to me. You also have these gaps inside the legs, which would have been fixable if these feet could slide up a bit. The colours are more or less the same here, and most of the details are movie accurate, including the head sculpt. Articulation is better than the previous mold, but his small feet make him difficult to stand at times. All in all, I'd say he's a little better than his predecessor. Next, Jetfire. This version is packaged as a Decepticon, even though he was an Autobot in the movie. But he was a Decepticon to begin with, and oh it. His alt mode is the SR-71 Blackbird, a surveillance aircraft that was taken out of service over a decade ago. It looks pretty good actually. Yeah, the arms and feet are visible, but it'd be hard to hide all the robot parts, given the shape of the aircraft. His front landing gear is not retractable, but fortunately there's something of a stand moulded underneath, so he can rest on a surface nice and evenly. The engines look a bit wonky because of how they're pegged in, but other than all that, this is a worthy vehicle mode. There's a tab on top that allows you to connect him to Optimus to create the appropriate combination seen in the movie. I peg him in like this, with the engines pointing up. It looks okay in general, and it's nice to see that they're trying new things with Legends. This one also has a clever transformation. The robot mode strongly evokes Jetfire's character. His spinnily hunched proportions definitely make him look old. You've even got the beard moulded on his face, and the cane moulded on the end of his arm. His Decepticon symbol on top is intentionally scratched to show that he is no longer of their allegiance. Articulation is average for a Legends figure, but if any bot is expected to have limited movement, it's this one. The cockpit piece hangs down awkwardly behind him, but it could have been worse, I guess. Overall, I'd say he's my favourite of the first wave. Finally, Megatron. He is a Cybertronian tank this time, and this actually looks like a plausible vehicle mode. Okay, you can see his head at the back, but at least it's not just a pile of robot parts. The silver and black colour scheme really works on this figure, and the spikes all over give it an appropriately evil look. The turret gun can pivot a little bit each way, but the turret itself is a bit unstable. And of course, due to the transformation, it can't turn. Overall though, this is one badass tank mode. Just like Sideswipe's legs can pop off during transformation, so can Megatron's arms. Though this robot mode isn't great, this one could be better, quite frankly. I mean, I know he's meant to have monstrous proportions, but this is ridiculous. Between the individual length of his arms and the way the hips stick out awkwardly from the waist, he just looks kind of stumpy in general. Still, he's got some really nice evil molded detail on him, with all the body spikes and the head sculpt, and the colour scheme is still great. Articulation would be decent, but the arms can pop off easily at the shoulders sometimes. And when bending his knees, the overall leg looks disfigured. Despite a few of his good points, I'm calling him the weakest of the wave. If you can't afford the leader versions of these guys, these are okay substitutes. Though as I've said earlier, if you only pick up one Revenge of the Fallen legend, make it Jetfire. Next I'm looking at Marvel Crossover's Hulk, the original green version.